Welcome to SidekicksDirect, your source for the latest news and interviews straight from the Dallas Sidekicks. Help us grow the channel by hitting the subscribe button and being the first to be notified of new content from the team. Now, here's your host, Scott Wegener.
Welcome into episode 11 of Sidekicks Direct. Before we get down to business, we want to give a big thanks to our presenting sponsor of Sidekicks Direct, the U.S. Army. Put yourself in the boots of a soldier in the U.S. Army and take real steps towards becoming a leader while you make a real difference in the world around you. You'll gain leadership skills in one of more than 150 career fields. Find out if you qualify, take a step forward, and become a leader that can make a difference. See yourself in our boots at goarmy.com/DFW. Welcome in, Sidekicks fans. As I mentioned, it is episode 11 of Sidekicks Direct. Before I introduce you to our guest, I want to let you know, hit that subscribe, the follow, whether you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, or listening on Apple Podcasts. Give us a follow, give us a rate and review, but be kind because my feelings get hurt very easily. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to the Dallas Sidekicks' newest signing. He is a big man from, is New Zealand down under or is that Australia?
A little further down under than Australia, but pretty much the same, yeah.
Okay, very cool. Under. Well, he stands at 6'5". He is by far the biggest sidekick. His name is Scott Doney. Scott, first off, welcome to Sidekicks Direct and welcome to the team. How's it been going so far?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Everything's been going good so far. Yeah, learning a lot under Simone, and Jesse's been helping me out a bit as well. So yeah, just learning, soaking it all in. It's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it.
So I've got to think, first off, you hurt my feelings a little bit. I am no longer the tallest member of the Sidekicks. I stand at 6'4", and you were in the office the other day, and I was looking up at you, and I was like, man, there it goes. You know, I'm not that imposing force anymore.
Sorry, yeah, we breed them tall in New Zealand. So, yeah, I've always been known for my height from a young age. So just fortunate to have it, I guess.
I'm definitely sure. So I was watching some of the highlights of you playing at Midwestern State. We'll get into that a little bit. Scored a few goals with the head. I'm sure is no shocker to anybody out there.
Yeah, I scored a few goals with the head. Honestly, I didn't have to do much. The service from that team was class, so I managed to just stand still, and then most of the time put it on my head. So it was easy for me. So.
That's awesome. So, quick question. Just obviously, you're a really big guy. A lot of indoor players are kind of smaller in stature. They're generally, I mean, most of the guys on the Sidekicks are probably in that like 5'8" to 6 foot range. What's it been like being out on the field and obviously being one of the biggest, probably strongest guys out on the field? How's it been for you so far?
Yeah, it's an adjustment for sure. Obviously, the speed of play is like a lot different in outdoor already when you come inside, and then you've got these guys with the fast feet and moving around. The game itself is just a lot quicker. So it's been a bit of an adjustment for sure, but my style of play is a target forward, and I've been able to translate that into the arena game as well, fortunately. So obviously part of the reason why I've been brought in here in the first place. So it's definitely an adjustment, but it's just making me work harder on my game. It's another aspect that I've always had to work on. Speed isn't exactly what you think of when you look at a target forward. So always something I've been working on from day one. But yeah, it's been good. I'm enjoying the challenge.
So what is the biggest, what's the biggest difference so far in your transition from playing college ball just a few years ago to now signing a professional indoor contract? What's the biggest difference in the game for you, or what's been the hardest adjustment for you so far?
Hardest adjustment, probably, I mean, everyone's fighting for it now. Like in college, some players are just along for the ride. But you're obviously going to a professional environment now where everyone's fighting for it daily. So, I mean, I know when we go into camp, like it's going to be everyone's fighting for that position. So I think that's going to be one of the biggest differences as well, is that each and every day we have to come in and like really want to get after it and want to like earn our position. So I imagine it's probably going to be one of the biggest challenges going into it. I know that I'm young and have a lot to learn, and a new guy on the block, so I have a lot to prove as well. So it's probably going to be the biggest challenge, I would say, along with the change of game. I mean, outdoors, what I've always done, it's non-existent. Arena football is non-existent in New Zealand, so always done outdoor football, and then coming over here and now going to arena soccer. It's going to be an adjustment. The speed, like I say, the speed of play and the different rules that they have. yeah, it'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there.
So speaking of the rules, we just did a Sidekicks Direct live version with Arthur Evo, and I was asking him, one of the biggest differences between, he's in year 7 now, between year 1 and year 7. He had mentioned, the rules in the indoor game are just so different than the outdoor game. Obviously, there's out of bounds when it goes above the glass and everything like that. But he said the rules he's still learning as he goes on. So I promise you'll be learning the rules for indoor for years to come, man.
Yeah, I know. You can laugh. I'm sure I'll do some silly decision out in the field there, and you'll be like, oh, he's still learning. So yeah, I'm sure it'll happen at some point. But.
Well, the good looks and the fancy accent will definitely make up for it. Sidekicks fans will forgive you, I'm sure, very quickly. Just flash that smile and give him a little, hey-o or
yeah.
So wanted to ask, have you had a chance to watch any of the arena soccer from the past year, the MASL or whatever it may be at the different levels? Have you seen any of the games, or did you have a team that you followed besides the Sidekicks?
Honestly, I didn't see any of the games. I watched a little bit of stuff on YouTube after I became introduced to the Sidekicks, just checking it out online, seeing some of the goals that they scored and that sort of thing. I played a little bit of it up in Michigan for a smaller team there, level 2 team, I think it was. So I got a taste of it, but it was nothing like what is in the MASL. So I've just been able to see it online so far. So it's exciting stuff, though. The game is made for American fans. I want to say it's fast. It doesn't take a long time. There's always action going on. So it's definitely made for the American fans.
So if you want to watch somebody who I think is very similar to you, just in size and stature. So I've been in MASL, MISL, CIL, all the different iterations of the game since the early 90s. And there's a guy now that plays for Utica, and I cannot think of his name off the top of my head, and it's driving me crazy. But he came here, and when Utica played against Dallas, he's big, he's imposing, he's literally about your size, and he plays the game with such a fluidity. So I think when we see you, we're going to see somebody that's very similar. But if you want to kind of take notes, he is just an absolute stud. He plays up top for them, and he's their guy. They get the ball to him, it's on the bottom of his foot, and he's got runners running around him, and he's ready to go. So I think that gives Sidekicks fans some excitement.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have to check him out. I actually used to play against the Utica goalkeeper in college. I think his name's Andrew Coughlin.
Yes.
So we played when I was at Buffalo. He was a goalkeeper at Canisius, so
okay,
a challenge there.
All right. So speaking of college, I want to talk a little bit about your college journey. 3 colleges in 4 years. You started at Marshall.
Yeah.
With the Thundering Herd, you had a couple. I think you had 5 or 6 goals in your freshman year, correct?
Yeah, I had a couple. Yeah.
First one against Liberty. Then you transferred to Buffalo for your sophomore and junior year, and then you ended up at kind of soccer hotbed here in the North Texas area, Midwestern State. So talk to me a little bit about the journey, how you got from Marshall to Midwestern State, and what that was like for you.
Yeah. Coming over to America, my first experience was Huntington in West Virginia. It was different, I'll say that for sure. It's a place that, yeah, it was an experience. I'll leave it at that. But no, Marshall was good. It was good to me. I had a great time. Learned a lot about college soccer in general. I didn't really have much knowledge going into it. Playing in a tough conference as well. Quite a few teams that made it in the top 25 every year. So it was a good experience. Learned a lot. And then transferred out to Buffalo after my freshman year. I had a few connections, a couple of friends from high school I played with at Buffalo already. So there was 4 New Zealanders there. Okay. And then the coach was from New Zealand as well. So we had a bit of a connection going on in that regard. Playing in a tough conference as well in the MAC was great. A great experience. Played a lot of good football, a lot of good teams during those few years. We had a great team chemistry as well. I really enjoyed that part of it. The college soccer experience in that regard was really good for me, playing tough D1 teams. And then they cut the program late in my spring of my junior year. So it was very late, like March, April, I want to say. And so if you know anything about college soccer, like recruiting is done by then usually. Like there's no money available excuse me, for international players, that sort of thing. So everyone was on like a crazy search to find a new team. Fortunately, I had a connection in Texas with my summer team goalkeeper, Noah Fazikis. he had a connection. He went to Midwestern State, and then I played with him in the summer for Grand Rapids FC. So he mentioned he'll reach out to his coach, which happened to be Meach at Midwestern, and they had some money available as well. So it ended up being a good fit both ways. Got to come in and play my senior year with a strong team that obviously is a powerhouse in Texas and at D2 level, and managed to fit in well, got a lot of good goals. So really enjoyed my last season. I just wanted to find somewhere I could play some good football for my senior year, so ended up being a great fit. And that's part of the reason why I came down to Texas, because I just love Texas so much. The experience I had down here, made a lot of friends, so it's been really good.
So you talked about a lot of goals that you scored. So you had 14 goals your senior year. 50% of your goals, 7 of them were game winners. Do you just have that? Have you always had that kind of knack for the clutch goal, or just kind of happenstance?
I don't know. I mean, I just want to be involved when the game's on the line. You know, I just want to be a part of the team and make that impact. And obviously, if I can be there when the time crunch, at the end of the game, and it's 1-1, I can try and get that last touch. Then I want to be the person to do it. So I just put that pressure on myself and kind of be able to lead the team in that way, do my part. So.
All right, a little bit more soccer talk, and then we'll have a little bit of fun as well.
Yeah.
So how did you end up in New Zealand? Born there. How did you go from New Zealand to the United States? What was that transition like? What was the decision behind, leaving New Zealand to come play soccer in the US? Tell me a little bit about that story.
Yeah, so there's not college athletics like America anywhere else in the world. Like that's why so many international athletes come to America. It's the place to be if you want to play college sport and get a degree at the same time. So there's just the unfortunate circumstances. There's not that money available overseas. There's not the experience available. So it was on my radar going into my senior year of high school. Wanted to really try and make a push and try and see what I could find overseas. And I reached out to a bunch of coaches through video highlights, that sort of thing. Fortunately, my club coach in New Zealand had some contacts in America, had a couple of players already went to Marshall in the first place. So got an in that way. It's just honestly about putting yourself out there. So I didn't have much knowledge of, like I said, of what I was going to expect in America. Kind of hard to compare like a men's club league in New Zealand to the college level, and that sort of thing. So, but the transition, I mean, fortunately, New Zealand football is very tough physical game. We're playing against men from a young age. I've been playing against guys that are in their 20s, 30s since I was 15. So it kind of, I think, gave me a bit of an edge in that regard. But yeah, it was something that was on my radar. I really wanted to come over here and use my ability to try and help me get a degree at the same time. So worked out well for me in the end. And it's become a really popular thing now back home as well. Come over here and play and get a degree. So
did you have any homesickness when you first got over here?
Yeah, a little bit. Fortunately, I had spent my senior year actually away from home at a boarding school playing soccer and going to school. So I kind of eased myself into it a little bit. But you've got technology these days, you've got Skype and that sort of thing. So I was able to keep in touch with my family regularly, and games are streamed online all the time now these days. So my family can keep watching and that sort of thing. So I don't get to go home very often, but I always enjoy it when I do go home and my family's back there supporting me, that sort of thing. So
that was gonna be my other question. So how often do you get to go back home to New Zealand?
Yeah, not often. I want to say once every 2 years has kind of been the
Your parents come here at all? Do they come visit?
One visit, yeah. My parents have come one time. My dad has been over. My sister came and watched me play in the summer 2016. So I was really lucky to have them come over. But yeah, it's a long trip for anybody that. I think flying from New Zealand to Chicago, you get 16 hours. So I mean, it's it's a long journey for anybody that makes that trip. But it's worth the trip. So.
All right. So I love to travel. I'm a huge travel documentary stan. I watch them all the time. So I've seen some cool stuff in New Zealand, and New Zealand is obviously known for its action sports, or kind of its adrenaline junkie side. Have you done any of the crazy bungee jumps that they have over the river that's 500 feet up in the air, or skydiving? Yeah. Have you done any of that?
I did a bungee jump for my 15th birthday. So obviously the bungee was invented in New Zealand, so I had to do it. And then I did a skydive for my 18th birthday as well. So I love all the adrenaline stuff, the action stuff. So Yeah, whenever I can. Honestly, I'd recommend the bungee jumpers. If you're going all that way in New Zealand, you may as well do the bungee as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and the skydivers, I love doing as well. I do that anytime. It's so much fun. So, yeah, I've done all those things. Real outdoorsy kind of guy. So get out and New Zealand's known for its nature and its hiking and that sort of thing as well. So, yeah, get outside whenever I can.
That is definitely something. So the first time we ever saw it, we were watching a travel documentary called Departures. And it's these two guys that literally travel around the world for, I think it ends up being like 2 years. And they have a camera crew and they're video editors and they kind of do that for a living anyway. But I saw them do the bungee jump and my wife and I immediately were like, bucket list right there. Whenever we get to New Zealand, I don't care how old I am, like how terrified I am jumping. Like I'm bungee jumping over that river, but it looks terrifying. Were you scared at all?
Oh yeah, really scared because when you get up there, I mean, the rope they tie around your legs is like hanging down in the wind, so you can feel it before you get out to the edge anyway.
God.
So, no, it's one of those things you kind of just have to shut your eyes and go for it. But no, it's a lot of fun. You say you've done it, it's kind of a cool feeling. So, yeah, it's an experience for sure.
Oof, man, it's still like even watching it on TV. We were just watching The Amazing Race like on Amazon Prime the other day, and they had an older lady. She was like 60, I think 66 or 67, and she was terrified. And then she's like, "Oh my God, it was the most amazing experience of my life." And I'm like, I'm gonna be up there crying my eyes out, and then I'm gonna finally do it and be like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. That was super fun." So
yeah, you see like people that get terrified, like YouTube videos, people like getting really scared at the last second, and then like they pretend like they didn't tie the rope to their legs, something like that, and they freak them out even more. So no, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different things I had to do around New Zealand. We have like the jet boat rides as well, where they like fly through the rivers and the jet boats.
I've done that. That's super fun.
Yeah. So that's another big thing they do back in New Zealand.
So they have another one where you can kind of like pick. It's like a giant swing essentially, and you can pick how you. Like they'll kick a chair out from underneath you, or they'll pretend like they're cutting a rope or whatever it may be. Have you ever done that one with the giant swing?
No, I haven't. But that's one of the biggest swings I want to say in the world, something like that. Yeah, so it looks amazing. It's down South Island, not very close to where I live, but yeah, it looks really cool. I would definitely want to do that at some point. It's a lot of fun. So there's a lot of different things like that. There's like a luge that they have that you ride down in the little carts, racing
that's awesome.
That sort of thing. So yeah, we love doing that. My friends and I. It's kind of close to where I live. So yeah, there's like lots of little different things in the small towns. You can't travel very far, very fast in New Zealand. You go through all the small towns. There's not the big American highway, so like every town has a little thing that you can do there. I kind of live close to the Hobbiton set actually, so from the Lord of the Rings. So yeah, a lot of people go out there, check that out. They have the houses and the hills and that sort of thing. So yeah,
I would nerd out there. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. So
yeah, no, it's cool to see.
Biggest difference between living in New Zealand and living in the U.S. What was the biggest change for you? The biggest culture shock?
I honestly, yeah, I was trying to think about this the other day. Maybe the food, honestly. The meal sizes in America are huge. Like, I don't even think a small in America would be like a large in New Zealand. I don't know what it is. It's just like the meal sizes are a big difference. I'm happy about it because I eat a lot of food, so I can't complain. But
you're a big guy. You need to eat,
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big guy. So, but yeah, the meal sizes are just a really big difference. I can't even finish like big meals over here. So that was one of the biggest things I noticed straight away. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarity. Like, it's not too different. Like, New Zealand's not too far behind you guys. Everything's on a larger scale here. Everything's just times 10, like your highways, the speed limit sort of thing. Like everything's just a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, that sort of thing. So
especially now in Texas. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas. So
exactly, everything's bigger in Texas. So yeah, like the trucks that you guys drive around here, like that wouldn't even fit on a road in New Zealand. So it's like, yeah, just things like that. But I mean, it's all good things. So I love the food here. I enjoy the people have been really nice in Texas, especially. Everyone's been really welcoming to me, and I love chatting to everybody. So yeah, not too much.
It's probably the accent. So when you're not playing soccer, not doing crazy adrenaline junkie type stuff, what are you doing on your weekends, on your downtime? What's like a kind of a low key Saturday night for Scott Doney look like?
Yeah, I used to live by the beach, so I used to love going out, swimming, surfing, that sort of thing when I was younger. And we don't have any close beaches around here. We go to the lake sometimes, hang out by the pool with friends, that sort of thing. I love just being outside, just doing outdoor activities, going on walks or whatever that is. So I honestly have grown up with soccer all my life. So whenever I could, I was kind of kicking a ball around anyway. If I wasn't on the field, I was doing it out on the beach. So it's just kind of been my thing. Apart from that, I'll go out for dinner, eat with friends, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm kind of new to Texas and the Dallas area, so I'm exploring the new restaurants. That's the thing. If you got any tips or places to go check out, my fiance and I were definitely looking to try out some new places. So
There's so many.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know I've already been trying to like go to different places, but I mean I'm a big fan of Mexican food as well. So I've been learning to love that down here. So yeah, definitely welcoming all tips and anybody got any recommendations.
So my favorite Mexican that we've had so far. So my wife and I moved down here 3 years ago, and we kind of made a pact that we wanted to not double up on restaurants, right? We wanted it because there's so many new ones we wanted to try, all of them before we started going back. But anyway, there's a Mexican restaurant in like the Carrollton area called Los Lupes. Fire Mexican food. It was amazing, man. We took my folks there. It was the first time we had been to a restaurant twice. And we took my folks there when they had visited I think a year ago. And my dad was like, this is incredible. It was amazing. He loved it. So try out Los Lupes, man. That is a good one.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll put it down the list for sure. We're always looking to try new things. So yeah, we've been enjoying it so far.
All right. We were chatting beforehand. You just got a brand new member of the family, and he is absolutely adorable. His name is Jack. And tell me a little bit about the new puppy, man.
About Jack. Jack is a ball of fun. He's just here. Let me get him for you.
This dude is adorable, and I'm going to steal him from
mini golden doodle. So we just got him recently. He's 11 weeks old, so he kind of is new to the family, meeting everybody. So say hi.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, he's a lot of fun. He's a mini golden doodle. He's about 6.5 pounds, so he's really small. Learning to try and teach him to kick a soccer ball around, but yeah, he's a lot of fun. So he keeps us up at night, but it's all good. We're enjoying him. So new to the family.
So we've got Evo had Fred the Beagle, who made an appearance on SidekicksDirect here last week, and now we've got Jack the Doodle that is another mascot for. I'm a dog lover, man. I got my own Oakley the dog. He's a crazy 10-year-old bundle of energy all the time. So love the dog stuff. All right, cool. Before I let you get out of here, I wanted to ask you some fun stuff about New Zealand. So obviously not a huge language barrier when you come from New Zealand to the United States. You, us, we all kind of speak generally the same language. Were there any words in the U.S. that you heard for the first time and you were like, what on earth does that, like, what are you talking about? Or has anybody done that to you when you've said something?
Yeah, when I order like food and I go out, so when you say ketchup, I say tomato sauce, and they're like, what? What are you saying? So like that, when I order like food at fast food, like drive-in places, like I generally don't actually order. I just get my friends because my accent likes to struggle to understand it. So like tomato, like basically like that, like people kind of say it differently. My dad's side of the family is English as well. So when I blend like a New Zealand accent with the English accent, kind of gets mixed in, and then people just struggle to understand me. I have to kind of slow it down a little bit and really enunciate my words. We kind of speak quite fast in New Zealand. So, but yeah, there's just a couple of things every so often people kind of look at me funny and say, what did you say? And I have to think, oh yeah, I've just become American terms over here. So, but yeah, it took a while for me to say, I still don't even say it, like y'all, when people like text and say y'all.
Yeah, I haven't embraced the y'all yet either. I think I've said it once or twice, but I haven't quite fully embraced the y'all word.
I know, yeah. I haven't got myself around saying that yet.
Try saying it once. Just say, how y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
Oh, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound
right. It doesn't even work. And I can't even do an American accent. So, but yeah, no, it's all good. I kind of have fun with it when I'm out and people kind of look at me funny. But yeah, if I go for like a drive-through food place, I just say to my friends, please, you just order for me, because I'll say it and they'll say, what did you say? and then I have to say it like 3 times, and then I'm just like, oh, honestly, I don't even want it anymore.
Yeah, just give me whatever's left over.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you got closest to you. So, but yeah, no, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, every moment of it. So it's all good.
So there's a New Zealand like Premier League, right? Or New Zealand
Yes.
Soccer League, professional soccer league. Do you follow any of the leagues around the world? Do you have a favorite league that you pay attention to besides the MASL now, of course?
Yeah, besides the NSL, yeah, I have always followed the English Premier League really closely. My dad supported Chelsea, and I started supporting them growing up as well. So, a big Chelsea fan. A lot of Americans will agree because Pulisic is on there. So, yeah, I enjoy watching them. I love watching the Premier League every week. It's really big in New Zealand as well. So we have a few players like Chris Wood is a striker from Burnley from New Zealand. We had Ryan Nelson a few years ago for Blackburn in the Premier League. So yeah, Winston Reid as well, West Ham. So there's a couple of players that make appearances from New Zealand, and when that happens, it obviously increases the following. But yeah, I've always been a big Chelsea fan. So yeah, I enjoy watching that every week.
So I think we talked about this when you were in the Sidekicks front office is heavy Manchester United fandom with me, Jesse, and Fetty. But it is weird. So I think that America as a whole, I think Man U is probably one of the most supported teams across the U.S. But now that Pulisic is with Chelsea, I mean, they've become de facto my second favorite team to watch, right? Because I just want to see what Pulisic is going to do, especially since he's playing so well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's been really fun. So I can't even hate on you for the Chelsea stuff, just because it's like, honestly, I watch him like I want a Pulisic jersey anyway, especially now that he's the number 10.
I know. Yeah, exactly. That's exciting. He's exciting. He's an exciting player. I always just love watching Chelsea growing up since the days that Drogba was there originally, and Lampard and that sort of thing. So I haven't jumped on the bandwagon and just joined recently. No, I've always been a Chelsea fan growing up. So yeah, I watch a little bit of MLS as well, but yeah, no, MASL is going to be on my radar of watching every week. So
it's fun, man. You know, it's like you said at the open of this. It's a very different game. It's so fast paced. There's always so many, different things going on. Some of my favorite teams to watch, obviously, besides the Sidekicks, Utica is a great team to watch. This Florida team, Florida Tropics from the last year, were absolutely incredible. Obviously, Monterey, who ran rough shots, the San Diegos. I mean, the Utica, like I said, Utica, those are all really, really fun. Milwaukee as well are all fun teams to watch. So if you're looking for high action and a lot of goal scoring, and you're not watching like a Sidekicks game, those are some of the teams, man, that I would suggest to take a look at, because they have players that are, similar to you, and they play a similar style, and it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to get involved. I just want to say a big thanks to everybody that's been involved from the start and kind of brought me in and teaching me. I know I have a lot to learn, honestly. I'm new to the organization and the game, but I'm really excited about it. Like you say, it's fast-paced. It's a lot of action, a lot of goals scored, and I'm all about that. So, yeah, I'm really excited to get involved and help the team the best I can and learn along the way. So it should be good fun.
Listen, man, just score as many game winners with the Sidekicks this season as you did with Midwestern State in your senior year, and I think you'll become a fan favorite real darn quickly, man, especially with that accent and the looks, my guy.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see what I can do. But yeah, I'm just excited to learn from the guys that have already been there. I've heard a lot about like Freddie Mugen, and those guys have been around a few years. Fabinho is teaching me a lot as well. So yeah, no, it's really exciting. I've been enjoying every moment of it. So it was a lot of fun.
Very cool. Well, Scott, we appreciate you coming onto episode 11 of Sidekicks Direct. We're really excited to see you in this upcoming season, whenever that may begin, whenever that kind of gets going and rocking and rolling. But we're really excited to see you out there as a big target. And before I let you go here, I want to give another big thanks to our presenting sponsor of the Sidekicks, the U.S. Army. Put yourself in the boots of a soldier in the U.S. Army and take real steps towards becoming a leader while you make a real difference in the world around you. You'll gain leadership skills in one of more than 150 career fields. Find out if you qualify, take a step forward, and become a leader that can make a difference. See yourself in our boots at goarmy.com/DFW. Scott Doney, the 6'5" forward. We share a birthday, May 3rd. You're 10 years younger, which I don't like that very much. But I'm no longer the tallest guy in the Sidekicks, so you've hurt my feelings right off the bat, but I'll allow it if you score some goals. Man, we're excited to have you as part of the organization.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to being involved and getting after it.
That is it for episode 11 of Sidekicks Direct. Please give it a follow, a subscribe, a like, whatever it may be on the platform that you are watching and or listening on. And give us a rate and review. Throw 5 stars out there because, again, my feelings get hurt really easy. And I'm a very sensitive guy. So I'd appreciate it if you guys said some nice things about us. And we'll keep bringing you the content. Scott, have a great rest of your day, man. And we look forward to seeing you out at the Allen Event Center sooner rather than later, hopefully.
Thanks, Scott. Talk to you soon.